When we think of ancient Earth, our minds default to one image. Thunder lizards. Jurassic ferns. The mighty Tyrannosaurus. But that story. That's the sequel. The real epic. The one that set the stage for everything that has lungs, legs, or leaves. It didn't start with a roar. It started with a sigh. In the dark, cold waters of the Cambrian. This is the true story of the Paleozoic era. A 289-million-year saga of failure, innovation, extinction, and a war for survival that makes every human conflict look like a petty argument between children. Welcome to the world before the dinosaurs. A world that built the bones you are standing on. And then burned it all down. We begin 541 million years ago. The supercontinent Pannotia is breaking apart. The air is toxic, almost no oxygen. The land is a radioactive, barren desert of volcanic rock. If you could stand there, you would choke and burn in seconds. But in the shallow seas, everything changes. This is the Cambrian explosion. Do not let the word explosion fool you. It was not an explosion of fire. It was an explosion of anatomy. For 3 billion years, life was lazy. Single cells. Slime. Sponges. Then, evolution invented the eye. With sight came hunting. With hunting came armor. With armor came jaws. In just 10 million years, a blink in deep time, every major body plan we know today appears. Opabinia with 5 eyes and a nozzle for a mouth. Hallucigenia, walking on stilts. And the apex predator, Anomalocaris. The weird shrimp. It ruled with grasping claws and a circular mouth like a pineapple slicer. To survive, the trilobite invents a trick. It rolls into a ball. It is the first arms race. Predator versus prey. Speed versus shell. And for 20 million years, this works. But the Cambrian has a dark secret. It ends not with a bang, but with a burp. The oceans lose oxygen. 40% of all species vanish. The age of the weird shrimp dies. And something new crawls out of the mud. The Ordovician period. 485 million years ago. The continents are drifting toward the South Pole. Glaciers begin to whisper. But life is no longer just swimming. It is reaching. On land, something desperate happens. A fungus teams up with a green cell. Lichen. Then moss. They begin to crack the rocks. For the first time, soil is born. In the oceans, the invertebrates get huge. Endoceras, a straight-shelled squid relative, becomes the first giant predator. It hunts trilobites with jet propulsion. But the real revolution is hiding in the plankton. Tiny creatures called graptolites. They filter the water, building complex colonies that look like saw blades. The Ordovician is the era of the filter feeder. Life gets organized. Reefs explode. For a moment, Earth looks like a peaceful garden. Then, the plants on land commit a crime. The moss pulls carbon dioxide out of the air. Too much. Too fast. The planet plunges into an ice age so severe that the tropics freeze. It is the first mass extinction caused by life itself. 85% of marine species die. The giant nautiloids shatter in the cold. The Paleozoic nearly ends before it truly begins. But from the wreckage, a spine emerges. The Silurian. 443 million years ago. The ice melts. The seas rise. And the vertebrates finally arrive. They are not sharks. They are not salmon. They are ostracoderms, bony armored fish with no jaws. They suck up debris from the seafloor like clumsy vacuum cleaners. They are slow. They are stupid. And they are prey. The rulers of the Silurian are the Eurypterids. Sea scorpions. Some are 6 feet long. They have compound eyes, grasping claws, and a venomous tail spike. For 30 million years, they are the lions of the Paleozoic. But on land, a quieter revolution is underway. Meet Nomodesmus, the first animal to breathe oxygen from the sky. It is a millipede, barely an inch long. But it has spiracles, holes in its body that suck in air. Because of the moss, oxygen levels are rising. For the first time, the land is breathable. And with breathable air comes ambition. The Devonian. The age of fish. But not the fish you know. The oceans become a battlefield. The armored jawless fish die out. In their place come the placoderms, fish with jaws so powerful, they could bite through chain mail. Deadliest. 30 feet long. 10 tons. It has no teeth, instead, its jawbone sharpens into self-sharpening blades. It could open its mouth in 50 milliseconds, creating a vacuum that sucked in prey. Its bite force: 8,000 pounds per square inch. That's stronger than a T-Rex. But the Devonian's greatest legacy is not the killer. It is the walking dead. Tiktaalik. The fish with wrists. It has lungs. It has a neck. It can do push-ups. It is not trying to evolve. It is just trying to escape. The shallows are crowded. The sea scorpions are still hunting. The tide pools are drying out. So it flops. For a few seconds. Then a minute. Then an hour. This is the most watched transition in natural history. From Tiktaalik come the tetrapods, four-legged animals. The first amphibians. Ichthyostoga. Acanthostoga. They have 8 fingers. They have a tail fin. They are terrible at walking. But they are out. And then, the Devonian ends in fire and anoxia. Another extinction. 70% of all species gone. The great Deadliest turns to stone. But the amphibians survive. And they find a world of giants waiting for them. The Carboniferous period. 359 million years ago. Oxygen levels hit 35%, compared to 21% today. Everything is on steroids. Arthropods have no lungs. They breathe through tubes. In high oxygen, those tubes can get wider. And the body gets bigger. This is the age of the bug giants. Dragonflies as big as eagles. Millipedes the length of a car. Spiders the size of a dinner plate. And the reason is the tree. The first trees evolve. Lepidodendron. The scale tree. It grows 150 feet tall. But here's the twist, no fungus or bacteria on Earth knows how to rot wood yet. When a tree falls, it does not decay. It stacks up. Layer after layer. Mile after mile. This is how we got coal. Every lump of coal you have ever seen is a carboniferous forest that never decomposed. The amphibians dominate the swamps. Crassigyrinus. A 6-foot amphibian with a head like a toilet bowl and jaws like a crocodile. It waits under the lily pads for giant insects to come drink. But in the shadows, a reptile is hatching. Hylonomus. The first true reptile. It looks like a lizard. But it has a secret weapon. The amphibian must return to the water to lay its jelly-like eggs. The reptile's egg has a shell. It has a membrane called the amnion. It is a private pond. With the amniotic egg, the reptile cuts the cord to the ocean. It can go anywhere. The desert. The mountain. The coal swamp's edge. For 50 million years, the reptiles are small. They hide. They eat bugs. They survive the amphibian's temper. But then, the Carboniferous ends. The rainforest collapse. Oxygen levels plummet. The giant bugs suffocate. The amphibians, still tied to water, go extinct in droves. But the reptiles, they have their shelled eggs. They have scaly skin that holds moisture. They look at the corpse of the jungle. And they see opportunity. The Permian. 299 million years ago. All the continents have smashed together into one, Pangaea. The center is a billion-mile-wide desert. No rain. No rivers. Just sand and salt. The reptiles diversify into two armies. The synapsids. These are not dinosaurs. They are our ancestors. Dimetrodon. It has a massive sail on its back to soak up the weak sun. It has differentiated teeth, canines for stabbing, incisors for slicing. For 50 million years, the synapsids rule the Permian. They are the first apex predators on land. The other army, the anapsids. The turtles and the massive herbivores like Scutosaurus. They are slow. They are armored. They are the cattle of the Permian. And the world is getting hotter. Then comes the end. 252 million years ago. The Siberian Traps. A volcanic event so large, it didn't build a mountain. It flooded an area the size of Europe in molten rock. For 1 million years, the volcanoes spew. They burn the coal deposits of the Carboniferous. They release methane. The oceans acidify. The air turns to poison. The ozone layer collapses. This is the Permian-Triassic extinction. The Great Dying. 95% of all species vanish. The trilobites, survivors for 270 million years, finally blink out. The giant synapsids die. The forests burn and don't come back. It is the closest Earth has ever come to becoming Venus. When the ash settles, the world is empty. The coal is gone. The giants are gone. The oxygen is low. But in the burrows, one group waits. The archosaurs. The ruling reptiles. They are small. They are fast. They have upright legs, not sprawled like lizards. And one branch of the archosaurs learns to stand on two legs. These are the first dinosaurs. Eoraptor. Herrerasaurus. They are not kings yet. They are refugees in a graveyard. But for the first time in 200 million years, there are no sea scorpions hunting them. No Dunkleistus in the rivers. No Gorgonopsid waiting in the ferns. The Paleozoic is dead. Its 289 million years of trial and error, the eyes, the jaws, the lungs, the eggs, the coal, the ice, the fire, have all led to this empty world. The dinosaurs will inherit the Triassic. They will grow. They will conquer. For 165 million years, they will rule. But never forget, the dinosaur is a sequel. The original story, the Paleozoic, is the story of how life learned to bite, to breathe, to walk, and to die. It is the story of the fish that looked at the land and decided to stay. Before the dinosaurs, there was a world of giants and ghosts. And if you listen closely to the coal beneath your feet, you can still hear them screaming.